Hi, I'm Bhargav Jayaraman from the University of Virginia. In this talk, I will discuss our work on revisiting membership inference under realistic assumptions. This work was done in collaboration with Catherine Knipmeyer and David Evans from the University of Virginia and Lingjia Wang and Chanjan Gu from the University of California, Los Angeles. I will begin with the key highlights before delving into the details of our work. The previous attacks have successfully demonstrated membership inference threats in the balanced prior settings. We show that our membership inference attacks, namely Merlin and Morgan, pose serious privacy threats even in the skewed prior settings where the previous attacks fail. As the figure depicts, the privacy leakage decreases as we increase the skewness of prior, but Merlin and Morgan still achieve considerable privacy leakage. When we train models with differential privacy to mitigate the privacy risks, we observe that our attacks continue to succeed when privacy loss budgets are set higher than 10. In our membership inference attack framework, the adversary has access to the universe of data points consisting of blue points depicting the training set members and magenta points depicting the remaining non-members. The adversary randomly samples points from the universe and ranks them according to some criterion, such that the points on the left are more likely to be members. The adversary then selects the threshold to differentiate members from non-members. The first practical attack was proposed by Chokri et al., where the adversary selects a threshold on the target model n's confidence vector. Another attack was proposed by Yom et al., where the adversary selects a threshold on the per instance loss of the data points. More specifically, the adversary uses the expected training loss of the target model as the inference threshold. However, these works considered some assumptions that are too restrictive for many realistic settings. Firstly, they only consider balanced prior where the adversary randomly samples members and non-members with equal probability. This need not always be true, and in realistic settings, the prior is more likely to be skewed. For instance, the members could be the patients of a hospital, whereas the non-members could be the remaining population of the county or city. In such cases, the adversary is more likely to randomly sample a non-member than a member. Secondly, the existing attacks use a fixed inference threshold. In practice, the attacker can get more creative in selecting inference thresholds to maximize the privacy leakage. For instance, the attacker can choose a threshold corresponding to a given tolerance on false positive rate. We propose a threshold selection procedure that is applicable to all the threshold-based attacks. We show how an adversary can use threshold selection procedure on the Yom attack. The figure shows the per instance loss of members and non-members for a neural network model trained over the purchase dataset. The members are concentrated around a small per instance loss, whereas the loss of non-members is spread across the entire domain. Yom attack sets the inference threshold at the expected training loss. However, this threshold doesn't necessarily maximize the privacy leakage, nor does it minimize the adversary's false positive rate. The threshold selection procedure allows the attacker to select a threshold that maximizes the true positive rate for a given tolerance on the false positive rate. Later, I will show that this can be used to maximize the empirical privacy leakage. One drawback of Yom attack is that it does not take the characteristic of the loss function into consideration. That is, it cannot differentiate members and non-members if they have similar per instance loss values. We propose a new attack called Merlin that differentiates members from non-members based on the fraction of times the per instance loss increases when the record is perturbed with small amount of noise. We call this fraction as Merlin ratio, and its value is always between 0 and 1. The key intuition for this attack is that the members are at a local minima in the neighborhood of loss function of the model. Hence, any small perturbation will most likely tend to increase the per instance loss. Since Merlin uses a threshold on the Merlin ratio, We can use our threshold selection procedure to find a suitable threshold. The figure shows the distribution of Merlin ratio of members and non-members for a non-private model. As shown, there is a gap between the two distributions which the attacker uses to launch the membership inference attack. As mentioned earlier, Merlin finds a suitable threshold on the Merlin ratio to differentiate members from non-members. We note that the ratio of members to non-members is very high for higher thresholds. Thus, Merlin poses significant privacy threat by identifying the most vulnerable members with high confidence. Now that we know how the membership influence attacks work, we need to decide what privacy metrics to use for empirically measuring the privacy leakage of the attacks. The key point is to make this from adversarial perspective. That is, the empirical leakage should tell whether the adversary is learning something useful from the model that they didn't already know. One such popular metric is the membership advantage metric that measures the difference between the adversary's true positive rate and false positive rate. This metric is defined to be between 0 and 1, where larger value denotes greater privacy leakage. Yom et al. Provide a theoretical upper bound on this metric for differentially private models. Although this bound has two issues. Firstly, this is only valid for epsilon DP algorithms, whereas most of the differentially private deep learning works rely on epsilon delta DP. Secondly, this bound is only valid for small epsilon values. In this work, we use hypothesis testing perspective of differential privacy and come up with a tighter bound. Here, alpha denotes the type 1 error and f of alpha gives the corresponding lower bound on the type 2 error. Now, the new bound lies strictly between 0 and 1 and is applicable to epsilon delta DP algorithms. The figure gives a comparison between the old bound and our improved bound on advantage metric for varying privacy loss budgets epsilon. The advantage is 0 for epsilon values close to 0 and it increases with increase in epsilon values. But our bound never exceeds 1. However, the membership advantage metric is intrinsically only valid for balanced prior case, where the ratio of members to non-members is 1. This brings us to our second metric called positive predictive value that does take the prior into consideration. PPV measures the fraction of true positives among all the positive membership predictions made by the membership influence attacker. Similar to the advantage metric, PPV is also bounded between 0 and 1, where greater value denotes higher privacy leakage. The figure denotes the upper bound on the PPV metric for various false positive rates at varying privacy loss budgets in the balanced prior setting. For very small epsilon values, the PPV is close to 0.5 regardless of the false positive rate. But at higher epsilon values, PPV bound is greater for smaller false positive rates. Hence, the attacks that can achieve smaller false positive rates can pose more severe privacy threats. This figure shows how the prior affects the upper bound on the PPV metric for an adversary that selects threshold corresponding to 1% false positive rate for varying privacy loss budgets. The PPV bound drastically decreases as the gamma increases, and hence this metric gives a more realistic estimate of privacy leakage for skewed prior settings. To give an example, at gamma equal to 100 and for epsilon equal to 100, this adversary with 1% false positive rate can have membership advantage as high as 0.99, whereas the PPV can only be 0.5 at best. In such cases, membership advantage metric will overestimate the privacy threat. Next, I will discuss the effectiveness of attacks against neural network models trained on purchased dataset for multi-class classification tasks. This figure shows the effectiveness of YOM attack with varying thresholds on per instance loss against a non-private model in balanced prior setting. The x-axis denotes the per instance loss and the y-axis denotes both false positive rate and privacy leakage metric values. The blue dashed line shows the fixed threshold of expected training loss selected by the original attack of Yom et al. As indicated, this threshold doesn't maximize either of the privacy metrics. We can find better thresholds for YOM attack using our threshold selection procedure. For instance, here we show the threshold that maximizes the advantage metric. We note that the minimum false positive rate of YOM is 10%, so it does not work for smaller false positive rates. Here we show the performance of Merlin attack for varying thresholds on Merlin ratio against non-private model in balanced prior setting. Using a threshold selection procedure, we find that Merlin achieves maximum advantage of around 0.2 for Merlin ratio of 0.6. While this is less than the maximum advantage of YOM, Merlin can achieve a much higher PPV. This is due to the fact that Merlin can find thresholds for false positive rates close to 0. We visualize the per instance loss and Merlin ratio of all members and non-members side by side. The x-axis in the figure denotes the per instance loss and the y-axis denotes the Merlin ratio. As can be seen, YOM finds a threshold on the x-axis to differentiate members from non-members, while Merlin finds a threshold on the y-axis. We come up with a new attack called Morgan that combines both Merlin and YOM attack thresholds to further increase the PPV close to 100%. By doing so, Morgan identifies the most vulnerable members with very high confidence, as depicted by the rectangular region in the figure. Next, we study the effectiveness of differential privacy in defending against membership inference attacks. The figure on the left depicts the distribution of per instance loss of members and non-members for a non-private model. And the figure on the right depicts the distribution of per instance loss for a private model trained with Gaussian differential privacy with a privacy loss budget of 100, which doesn't provide any meaningful privacy guarantees in theory. Even though we add very little amount of privacy noise at epsilon of 100, we can see that the gap between the two distributions has greatly decreased. Thus, it affects the success of YOM attack. An interesting observation to note is that the addition of privacy noise now allows the adversary to set thresholds for much lower false positive rates. In the next slide, we will compare the maximum PPV achieved by all the attacks against private models. In our experiments, we use Gaussian differential privacy and varied the privacy loss budget epsilon between 1 and 100 and noted the maximum PPV of all the three attacks for different epsilon values. While YOM does not achieve significant PPV values, both Merlin and Morgan achieve high enough PPV to pose privacy threat for higher epsilon values. In particular, Morgan is able to maintain close to 95% PPV for epsilon values greater than and equal to 10. Thus, training private models with epsilon values greater than 10 does not thwart the membership inference risks. Up until now, we have only discussed the results for balanced prior case where the adversary randomly samples members and non-members with equal probability from the universe of data points. We also performed experiments for skewed prior setting by varying the gamma between 0.1 and 10 and evaluated the effectiveness of all the attacks. As discussed earlier, PPV considers the prior while the advantage does not. This is depicted in this slide where the PPV decreases drastically when gamma changes from 1 to 10, whereas advantage remains more or less the same. Hence, we mainly consider the PPV metric to evaluate the empirical privacy leakage in skewed prior settings. Note that the PPV of random guessing also decreases from 0.5 to 0.1 when gamma changes from 1 to 10. While the maximum PPV of YOM is greater than random guessing, indicating some privacy leakage, it is still not enough to pose a significant threat. Here we vary gamma between 0.1 and 10 and compare the maximum PPV of all the attacks against non-private models. While all the three attacks achieve higher privacy leakage than random guessing, only Merlin and Morgan seem to pose any meaningful privacy threat. More importantly, Morgan identifies the most vulnerable members with close to 100% PPV even in skewed prior settings. Although differential privacy thwarts all the three attacks for gamma greater than 1 settings. In summary, We have shown that the membership influence attacks pose serious privacy threats in realistic settings, even more than what was shown to be true previously. More importantly, even though the previous attacks don't seem to pose significant privacy threats in skewed privacy settings, we show that Morgan can identify the most vulnerable records with high confidence. Though differential privacy can mitigate the risks, using privacy loss budgets higher than 10 does not suffice to defend against our attacks. Additional results can be found in the archive version of the paper, and the code for the experiments can be found on GitHub.